Hey, welcome back to Panic Butter. If this is your first time joining us, hit that subscribe button. We're going to get into some interesting, some scary, some crazy, some TikToks. You know the ones you wait for, the ones that make you think, make you wonder. Here we go. First up. Kind of looked like a sloth. Yeah, that's not something you want to run into, huh? Oh yeah, that'll get your attention.
That was one. I think I've seen 20 of them.
That's pretty strange, pretty crazy. Some of them, you could tell what it was. It wasn't that weird, but some of them, you never know. Who'd like to see one of them huge snakes? That would definitely get your attention, wouldn't it? Where are we going next? Here we go.
Why are some countries colder than others on the flat earth if there's no north or south? Genuine question. So actually, first off, there is a north, and it's the very center of our earth. This right here is called the Gleason's map. It was created in the 1870s, and it was actually called the new standard map of the world. This is the map that everyone went by. And just to be clear, this is a scientifically and practically correct map. Not to mention, it's also the same map that's used by the United Nations in their logo. So let's look at the corners down here, the solstices. We've got the June solstice here in the bottom left, where the sun is actually closer to the center or closer to the North Pole. You can see it right there, causing these countries here to experience summer, and the ones that are further out to experience winter or colder weather. And then in December, when you have the December solstice, the sun actually moves further out and moves in a line like this instead of like this, causing these countries to all experience summer, and these ones closer to the North Pole to experience winter. I'll give you an example. Right now I'm in Africa, and in Africa, these countries all over here are experiencing summer, and it's very hot here. But back where I came from, close to New York, it is extremely cold there right now, because the sun moved further away. But this right here is a bit of a representation. So in the summer, the June solstice, the sun is here and it's moving in a circle around the earth, and it goes around and around in this spiral, and it actually just gets wider and it comes all the way out to here. So these countries that are further to the south are experiencing summer. So I hope that makes sense for you. God bless. Don't forget to like and follow. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Well, that was pretty interesting. At least somebody does their investigation and research for us to watch. There's a lot of good theories out there. What's yours? What do you think? Where are you from? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Until then, bring on the next one. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was the other day, I think. just came up recently in California. What do you think? You got any pictures like that? Any videos? If you do, send them in. Let's check them out. Till then, let's go to the next one.
They say they have. They appear to have... Okay, well, it's a strange story, but part of the briefings I've gotten is that the moon was put in place 65 million years ago, and there's some debate as to whether it was then or a lot more recent, but I don't know if they really know. But one of the theories is the moon was put in place to bring about the fall of the dinosaurs, to create seasons. That the moon is a spaceship, that it was flown into position, it orbits the Earth, and in so doing, mammalian life now predominates, whereas before it was reptilian life.
Everybody has a theory, huh?
And the reptilians had, the dinosaur species apparently did evolve into a hominid race that was intelligent, that got wiped out when this took place, the 65 million year ago incident. Mm-hmm. And they did get driven underground, so that is a classic element of the story. But then the Draco Alliance, the negative ETs, say that, we persecuted the reptilians, we traumatized them, we drove them underground, and now we have to pay tribute, we have to pay rent to be here. And so the treaty, the negative treaty, is that we're apparently giving them humans as
our meat suits.
Yeah, for whatever they want to use us for, whether they want to dine on us or have us as workers or whatever.
Wow.
We trade a certain number of humans per year. So in my own experience, Danica, I've had multiple invitations to this group. I've had bribes in the billions of dollars offered to me.
I mean, Greer's talks about getting bribed for billions too. I've interviewed him a couple of times.
When you go out there and you're involved in this stuff like I am, they really would love to have you on their side. They really would love to have you as a mouthpiece. And so I was told, for example, that I could do everything the way I do it now, and the only thing that I would have to do different in order to get this money is to, quote-unquote, speak favorably about Lucifer. And they had this philosophy they wanted people to talk about.
What?
Which is that, Lucifer is a benevolent, misunderstood angel. And God abandoned us up in heaven, but Lucifer stayed down here with us. Look, any God that tells you got to go around hurting people is not a God I want to be involved with.
This is why I keep telling people, if you want to know about Lucifer and his fall, go to Isaiah chapter 14, starting at verse 12. Also in Ezekiel chapter 28, where it refers to the lamentation of the king of Tyre, comparing him to Lucifer and his fall. People go, the Dracos, the Reptilians, they're part of this race, they're part of that race, they're part of an ET race. Yeah, they're part of one. Lucifer in the garden was the serpent. It all stems from there. Now we go, well, that's only a few thousand years ago. No. According to modern day traditional teaching that is to make you blind, it's only a few thousand years ago. This has been going on for millions of years. Linda Moulton Howe, she talks about the 70 million year experiment of the dinosaurs, and that the Dracos were part of that. The human sacrifice, the blood sacrifice, all of this, the pineal gland and all that of the fear factor and all this stuff. Who do you think's feeding on that? These are as close to demonic entities as you can get. They shapeshift. I've seen them. They shapeshift. They do whatever they want to do. And they're walking amongst you, and you think we're a bunch of kooks and crazy for saying this. Those of us who do this and those of us who talk about this, we don't do it for no reason. I'm telling you right now, I know David Wilcox is he's a writer, he's a producer, movie producer and things like that. People are, he's just trying to get, recognition or trying to come up with these stories to get fame. Well, he's not. And he mentions Stephen Greer being part of the groups and things like this. But Stephen Greer says that anybody that believes in reptilians or all this other stuff, that's hogwash. He calls it hogwash. Look it up. Well, why is he talking about him in this footage? And in the same footage, he's talking about reptilians. So why does Stephen Greer say they're hogwash? I'll leave that up to you. Leave your comments.
What do you think? What do you think? I think it's all about the money. You take the money out, changes everything. Nobody wants to talk then. Nobody wants to point. Nobody wants to do anything. Because there's no benefit. You want to see the truth? There it is. Take the money out. Where are we at next? This is good. Here we go.
Did you know that The Simpsons may have predicted 3 events that are taking over reality in 2024? The third one is totally nuts. Number 1, VR food. In a 2000 episode, Homer and Marge were shown eating virtual fudge using VR gaming. 24 years later, the prediction came true. A company named Aero Banquets RMX has now developed virtual reality food that alters taste perception using VR headsets. It uses VR to change your taste perception, reframing the human mind and changing how we experience food. Number 2, Trump 2024. The Simpsons predict Trump will win the 2024 election. In the episode, Homer can be seen floating by a sign that says Trump 2024. In 2022, Trump announced he was going to run, causing the Simpsons writer Al Jean to point out that they predicted this back in 2015. What's even crazier is, the Simpsons already predicted Trump becoming president back in the year 2000. Number 3, colonizing Mars. In this 2015 episode, the government plans to colonize Mars. The episode airs with a glimpse into the year 2051, which shows the Simpsons family living on Mars. At that time, the idea of colonizing Mars seemed impossible, yet the episode eerily aligned with billionaire Elon Musk's subsequent plans, announced years later in 2022, to establish a population of 1 million people on Mars by 2050. It is truly amazing that over 7 years beforehand, the Simpsons envisioned this kind of human colony on Mars without any such projects yet proposed.
That's pretty crazy. What do you think? What do you think? Have we even been there? Have we been outside of the atmosphere? You know. Everybody has a thought. Everybody has a conspiracy. What is the truth? It's all interesting, isn't it? Here's some more. Bring it on.
You guys, that's not Taylor Swift. That's Zena LaVey.
Uh-oh.
Now, Zena LaVey is the daughter of Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey was a Satanist who started the Satanic Church. But it's interesting what's going on with Taylor Swift right now and the things she's been recently doing.
We're shown Taylor Swift holding scales in between 2 pillars while the light shines on her. This is ancient Greek imagery, and it represents the weighing of souls. The Masons love ancient Greek imagery, and it's all over Masonry. The very next scene shows Taylor Swift in a burning end, wearing a demon mask surrounded by demons. This scene represents where Taylor is leading her fans to.
Taylor Swift doing these demonic-like music. Not only that, but doing these demonic-like ritual performances. She also said not too long ago, I'm a Christian and people with real Christian values support abortion. No, Tay-Tay. Also, would you be surprised if I told you that that sign Jay-Z is holding up is not the rock sign? No, that's the same sign that this man is holding up. Who is this man? Anton LaVey. He's the Satanist I told you about earlier. You paying attention yet? The satanic law is do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. So remember, do what thou wilt is the satanic law. Now somebody please read to me what's on Jay-Z's sweater right here.
Yeah, he got it.
Do what thou wilt. Are y'all beginning to see some of these connections? Most of your celebrities are Masons, and you're not really going to hear that anywhere else, but you will hear it here. Have you heard of the Georgia Guidestones? Oh, it's really about to get real. Do you know how today's life matches up with the Guidestones? Do you know that this is the satanic 10 commandments? This exploded out of nowhere not too... Oh, it gets real. Now, this is a subject I go really deep on. Too deep for these sensitive social media platforms. But what's on those commandments match up with what's going on with the world today. If you actually want to watch this video, you can go to patreon.com/IsaiahRobin. On there, I go more into detail on these satanic commandments and what they entail. We're going to bring a lot of light to this darkness, guys. They keep trying to silence me everywhere else. They keep trying to ban me everywhere else. However, my videos on here do not get banned and they cannot silence me on here. So if you want to see more, just go to my patreon.com/IsaiahRobin. We are in that time where the Lord is shedding more light. We're in that time where the darkness is being more exposed. Every day, more trumpets come out. Every day there's more people speaking out, and every day the kingdom of darkness is falling more and the kingdom of God is rising more. So I pray you take heed to the message. I pray you take heed to the video. May your voice be lifted in Jesus' name. I love you guys. God bless. Shalom.
Wow. It's worth going to take a look. Check it out. Everybody has their thought. What is yours? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. This is good. A little strange, a little mystery. What's up next? Here we go.
Guess what, guys? I'm one of the foremost world leader in the knowledge on ancient texts and tablets, scriptures, papyruses, and cylinder scrolls. And guess what? In all the ones I've gone through over thousands over the years, not one of them is speaking about the creator of the universe, which is real. I acknowledge that. Matter of fact, so did the Anunnaki.
Uh-oh.
They claimed to know that they were going to get in trouble for what they did on this planet by the creator of all, which tells you that they knew they weren't the creator of all, that there was somebody even above them.
Oh, yeah, listen hard.
An entity, an energy, a life force of something above them that had a say-so, and they would have to find judgment one day. So they knew they weren't God, even though they masqueraded as God. They became the gods of the Torah and the Talmud and the Bible and the Quran and all these texts. You have...
This is going to give you a brain cramp. Hang on.
The people of the Jewish faith, which originally began...
Oh, yeah.
In that same region and migrate down into Ethiopia. Migrate through Egypt. They go through Egypt first, down into Ethiopia, which is in Africa. Egypt is in Africa, and so is Ethiopia. And they get down there, and they begin to build temples and worship and all that good stuff. Matter of fact, the people down there are jet black, blacker than this shirt I have on. Let me show you a picture of these Jews, in my opinion, are the oldest version of the Jewish faith.
Serious sun coming
They're
up.
so old that they weren't even aware of the Holocaust.
What?
They had discovered about the Holocaust not too many decades ago. They didn't even know it existed.
Well, let's see. Where's the... Oh, yeah, there it is.
These are the Jews.
Huh.
And if you go to Ethiopia, you can go to temple and you can see them worship and you can see them read from the Torah and you can see them speak in Hebrew and write in reverse and all that good stuff.
Yeah, nobody's going to go there to see that.
Those are...
That's why we're here.
The Jews.
To watch.
Okay? Those are the Jews.
It's crazy, huh?
And so I did a whole video on this a few months back, which talked about the story of the Black Jews. Matter of fact, I may add that to this video. And it doesn't mean that I'm extra proud that they're Black or anything like that. I'm just pointing out actual facts. This is an actual fact of life that can't be changed. It's a reality that can't be altered. As a matter of fact, when Moses left and went down there, he actually married a Black Ethiopian wife. This is in the Bible. This is, you can read the whole description right there. It tells you specifically exactly what happened there. Okay? And the reason why I bring this up is because it's so interesting that in the video I did, these same Black Ethiopians have the hardest time getting access to Israel, which is supposed to be this promised land, quote unquote. In that video, I have a woman who actually is in Israel that works in the government. And specifically, she's talking in my video about the hardest time she has getting, attacking racism in a way to get it reduced and to stop it from happening. And that many people who finally do make it to Israel that are Black, these Black Jews, the original Black Jews, are just homeless. Some of them are even living in the streets. And they're heavily, I guess, oppressed there. And so she said it was a big challenge that she's trying to find a way to overcome, but she doesn't have a lot of help on that end. And so it's a lot of work. And she was a little overwhelmed. And that's an actual video that you can find right here on this Forbidden Knowledge podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to go look at it.
And the point that I'm trying to make here is we have a strange situation here where people end up in this faith, claim it for their own, which is interesting. And then they go on this text that says they own all this land because it was given to them by God. It's pretty interesting. Now, when you analyze the land that was given to them by God from the biblical, from the ancient text, or it's not really ancient, but you go into the biblical text and Torah, it's south and southwest of Lebanon mountains, north and east of Egypt, east of the Mediterranean coastal plain, west of the Arabian desert, and the land of Canaan was located in the southern Levant, which today includes Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza and Jordan.
There's the map.
The southern parts of Syria and Lebanon. Now, if you look at the biblical part, which is the south and southwest of Lebanon and north and east of Egypt, the east of the Mediterranean coastal plain, that's a much bigger piece of land. Like, that's a massive swath of land that supposedly that they were promised a very long time ago. They believed in this promise so strongly that they decided to go there and just go to war against the people that live there and take their land from them. Sound familiar? Does that sound familiar to you? Just go and just take it and claim it's in the name of God. Pretty interesting. Sounds like what the Europeans did to a lot of continents on this planet. It's just a fact.
Yeah, it happens everywhere.
I'm just spitting facts. I'm not getting emotional. I'm not throwing in my own,
it's power
stuff into this. I'm not flaming any fires. I'm not trying to gaslight anybody. I'm giving you absolute verifiable facts that anyone can go learn in school right now.
Yeah, some cultures are more powerful than others. Okay. That's just how it is.
This isn't forbidden knowledge tonight. This is fact knowledge. And so they go there and they take it.
By Compendium of the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's all knowledge that people love to hear, but they don't want to get in and spend the time to go look up. That's why we do it, we sit, and we watch it. Because it's interesting, isn't it? What do you think? Let me know. Where are we at next? Bring it on.
CIA agent tells you how to prepare for 2024.
Oh, shit.
Pay attention.
Only ever wear closed-toed, laced shoes.
What?
So only ever wear closed-toed, laced shoes. You can see my mouth can't wrap my way around it.
Is that a real agent?
Because no matter what shit hits the fan, if you got closed toes and laces on your feet, you're safe. I have seen way too many bad guys neutralized because they're fighting in flip-flops or sandals or some other shit. And as soon as asphalt breaks and grass breaks and cement is falling down, your feet are fucked. Your fighting days are over.
That's today's agent, though.
Always wear closed-toed shoes with laces. Number 2, carry small denominations of U.S. dollar. Because when the economy goes to shit, a $5 bill is going to be worth much more than $5. So if you only have 20s, 10s, $100 bills, then you're going to be overpaying for everything because no one's going to give you change.
Oh, shit.
So
get rid of the debit card.
Carry small amounts of currency because as soon as the banks shut down, every piece of currency massively increases in value. So I always encourage people to carry $200 in cash, U.S. dollars in cash.
Not Canadian dollars.
Not Canadian dollars.
What about Canadian dollars or Turkish lira?
I would do the same thing with all of it, man. Keep everything in small amounts. Because here's the thing. If you're in Turkey and you're trying to get out of Turkey, guess what the most important currency is going to be?
So do you think USD would still be universally recognized as superior to those in those situations? You would take lira over USD in some cases?
I don't think so.
No. As long as US dollars are the dominant economic force,
yeah,
you want to use those.
Okay.
We don't stand the risk of losing US dollar dominance until we start reaching parity with some other economic power. So 2027, 2029, 2031, that's when you have to really keep an eye on what currency is going to be. But currency valuations change much slower than we think, right? Because there's momentum behind them. So get your hands on US dollars, have them in small denominations. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, the only self-defense weapon you need to be a master with is some kind of...
Did China really make a recent discovery of uncharted lands? And are these uncharted lands inhabited with new species of dinosaur? As always, folks, my content is for entertainment purposes only and may or may not be true. I provide the information and let you decide. According to TikToker @RavenGuru2, you see pictured here, not only have they found uncharted lands, but they've discovered new species of dinosaur as well. And yes, you heard me correctly, that's species, not just one, but 2 species of dinosaur were allegedly discovered by a team of 15 scientists on an expedition on this uncharted land. You might be wondering how she obtained this information. Well, sit back, grab your popcorn, and relax, because it's about to get crazy. According to Raven, about a week ago, she was at the local nail salon getting her fake nails removed as she was starting a new job. This was because the job was at a factory and required manual labor. So after arriving at the nail salon, they quickly sat her down and the nail tech began her work. About a half hour later, they were wrapping things up, when suddenly, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, all the nail techs just stopped their work and they turned towards their television that was on the Chinese news network. Normally, she wouldn't think much of it, but she could tell by the way they were fixated on the television that it must be something good. She also knew, as well as you and I do, that Chinese people are very hard workers. So for them to stop working and all of them fixate to the TV, that must mean something big is going on. And of course, the broadcast was in Chinese, so she decided to bust out her Google Translate and record the TV set. And as she followed along on Google Translate, she couldn't believe what she was reading. In fact, she was in such disbelief that she even asked her nail tech to confirm that it was the actual broadcast that they were watching. And she did just that. After reading the Google translation, she told Raven, "Yup, that's exactly what was said." According to the translation, the broadcast stated that China had just discovered uncharted territory, lands that had never been set foot on. And on these uncharted lands, prehistoric life was still thriving. Tens of thousands of dinosaurs inhabited the lands, with the 15 scientists immediately noticing at least 2 new species. So as you can imagine with such a discovery, the team was ecstatic. But that was very short-lived, because after a couple days, some of the team members started disappearing. One by one, as they were running their routine checks they had done 1,000 times, they kept disappearing, seemingly without a trace. No sound, no screams. Nobody even seen them walk off. They would just be gone. Of course, at first, the rest of the team had just figured that maybe they got lost or something. But soon, they found out that wasn't the case. Alright, y'all, this is where it gets crazy. After about 5 or so members of the team had gone missing, one of the team members had been observing one of the 2 new species of dinosaur. He had camoed himself well and was lucky enough to capture one in the hunt. At this point, the group really only knew what they had observed physically about the beast. That it was a carnivore and it stood anywhere from 15 to 25 feet tall. It was one of the apex predators on these uncharted lands. That they were fast and ran anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour. And they had no real enemies, or competition for that matter, as even the much larger carnivores knew better than to even try to attack them. They avoided them completely. So the researcher sat in silence and watched as it stalked its prey, until finally it went in for the kill. That's when a sense of fear crawled over the researcher's body. He could not believe what he had just witnessed. It was absolutely terrifying. Up to this point, this seasoned veteran had been on numerous expeditions and seen many animals stalk and kill their prey, but nothing like what this creature just did. He watched the creature finish its meal and then sprinted back to base camp. He explained to them what he had witnessed, and they all agreed it was major cause for concern and that they needed to get out of Dodge. But before they left, in a last-ditch effort to maybe find their friends and chart much more vast areas of land, They'd end up deploying something commonly used by researchers in their field, with a camera fixated on the bottom that could reach high altitudes. It enabled them to record for miles. So you're probably asking yourself, what brought them?
Yeah, that's crazy. Is that not... What is up with that? You think that's true? Dinosaurs. It's something, huh? Think about it. Leave a comment down below. Where are we at next? Bring it on.
Please give this a look for a second. Ancient Greek, ancient Rome, and the United States, all kind of similar, huh? Do you ever wonder if we're just a continuation of the Roman Empire? So before anybody has a fit with me, I'm just asking a question. I mean, the Roman Empire had their Senate. Looks a lot like the US's Senate. In fact, that's the United States Capitol. Don't those pillars remind you of something? Maybe something from ancient Greece or ancient Rome? What about the layout of ancient Rome, the city itself? This is about what it looked like. Big Colosseum right there in ancient Rome. And then you have current Washington, D.C. Not the best angle, but not just from this angle, but other ones. It could be mistaken for ancient Rome. And after all, Washington, D.C. does have a Colosseum. A stadium, two actually, one for their NFL team and one for their MLB team. All I'm saying is there's a lot of stuff in common between ancient Rome and the current United States. Maybe it's just a coincidence, maybe it's planned out that way, or maybe, just maybe, it's something else. Shabadoo Booskies! Shabadoo!
Ooh, go to there and watch them. Those are pretty interesting. If you made it this far, thanks for joining us. Hit that subscribe button. Bring it on for the next time. Hit the notifications, turn it on. You'll get notified when we drop another one. Have a great day. Bye.